Yo, there it is. Sorry about that. What the fuck? Yo, I wonder, are my filters still on here? Yes, thank goodness. Yo, so I do not remember the stream from Friday. That's mostly what I was just saying. We're talking about weird shit today. Something weird you do. Something weird you did as a kid. OCD stuff. Weird secret stuff you don't tell anybody about. All of it. That's what I was saying. So call in 540-583-4464. We're big talking about weird stuff. Yeah, I was just saying I do not remember the fucking stream from Friday. I remember like the end of it when I was talking to my wife, but other than that, bro, nothing. I don't remember nothing. Where's the stash? Stash is gone, bro. We're done with the stash. Let me try to fucking fix my Instagram stream now. Yeah, bro, it got to be too much. Not really. I just got tired of having it. I had the mustache for like 2 years, and I told myself it was giving me credibility as a judge, but I just like it. I like so much better not having a mustache, so I'm here for it. Call in and tell me something weird. I was something weird you do, but now that I'm saying just call in and tell me something weird, tell me something weird you know. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna judge you either way, so I'm here for it. Existing. Yeah, existing's weird as fuck, bro. I hear that. That's a little. Hate the maintenance of not having hair on my face. Yo, this is not an ad because they made me buy this shit and did not send me one for free, but I bought some shit called a Groomie, and it's like a handheld head shaver, and I shaved my whole shit in like 3 minutes. Like I shaved my head and face so quick. Yeah, hello. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Meatball, what's up?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I have some. Apparently, this is weird.
Ooh.
According to fucking everybody that I've told. I wipe back to front.
Oh, not only is that weird, it sounds super unhealthy, but go ahead. What's your rationale?
I mean, that's just the way I've always done it. Like, all right, so I'm right-handed.
Okay.
I take my left hand, I grab my fucking sack and my dick all together like a big handful, and I pull it up. I get down there with my right hand with the toilet paper, and I clean up.
It's not even just that you're wiping front to back, you're wiping from the front. That is weirder than the motion itself. Like going in from the front, that's fucking crazy, bro. That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. Like, let's throw out for a second the fact that you're just smashing shit into the back of your balls. 100%. 100%. But
well,
also,
no, I'm not. The balls are in my hand. Like if I was getting shit on my balls, I would get them
surface
on the hand.
Especially when you pull it taut.
No, the balls are in my left hand. So if I was getting shit on my balls, I'd get them on my left hand first.
Also holding your junk while you're pooping, that sounds crazy to me too. These are all weird. You're right. Everyone who told you that is right.
But like I use a baby wipe like right when I'm done, and like I really go over the whole thing, and then I use regular toilet paper to like dry up, and everything's fine. Like I'm clean, bro. Like
it seems like you would need to wash your hands so much better than I wash my hands great. I do a great job. I wash my hands like I shit on them. But it sounds like you would have to like surgically scrub in every time you shit. Like I would not feel comfortable with anything less than that. That's crazy.
I know, but like I thought that everybody just did it that way.
But even after you learned that not
like
everyone does it that way, what then? Like after you were like, did you try it? And you were like, no, not for me, or what?
I tried it, and I was like, yo, like I weigh like 280 pounds, and I was like, man, I I can't even see what I'm doing back there. At least here, I can kind of like look down and like get an idea of what I'm doing.
I mean, there's no way you're looking down at your butthole still. I'm not believing that. I gotta say, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right.
Well, this is why I wanted to start this off with this, like that weird thing that you do. Like, it's never been a problem. There's never been poop on my balls.
I mean, I think
Trust
if you
me,
talk
like,
to a doctor about it, they would tell you not to do that. I don't know why. I know girls can't do it. I know for girls it's a major problem. So for you, probably not a huge deal. I just think it's wrong. But I don't know. I would like to say that you should consult a physician. Ask a doctor about this one because you need a better opinion than mine. Someone else more qualified might need to judge you than me, I would say.
Well, I thought that I was like, what is the weirdest thing that I do that I could say in like just a couple seconds to really start a dialogue here?
Oh yeah.
But no, like man, I'm fucking like I'm clean down there. The most I get is some ball sweat.
I mean, I guess you would know since you're handling everything all the time. I don't know. It's not sitting right with me. Like I'm trying to rationalize it, and I'm just not getting there.
Well, this has been my whole life is the thing. Like I didn't know I was doing anything wrong, so I just made sure I was doing a good job. Like, you know, any rational person would, wiping their ass. Like, you make sure you're doing a good job. So
man, I don't know. I gotta say, ask a doctor and give it a week of regular people wiping. Just try it out. Go in the backyard and try it out. Good luck. And
go in the backyard and try it out.
And let me know, because I'm concerned.
Thanks, Meatball.
All right, thanks for calling, bro.
If I think of something else fucking super weird, I'll be sure to tell you.
I'll be surprised if it's weirder than that one, but I'm excited still. All right, thanks, man. That one is super weird. There's no getting around that one. That's pretty weird, bro. Back to front is crazy talk. That is crazy talk. Someone on Instagram said a horse bit my upper lip and threw me into a wall when I was 5 years old. That's fucking crazy. I've been bit by a horse just because I wasn't feeding it the right way. Like, if you don't hold your hand flat, a horse will bite you. But they're just trying to eat. But like, for a horse to attack you, that sounds crazy. Yellow, what's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
What's up? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, no, I wasn't around fucking Friday. I was getting drunk as shit.
Oh, dude, I was blacked out on the stream. I only remember the last like 20 minutes and then calling my friend and being like, I was too drunk to stream tonight.
Damn, yeah, no. When you're drunk, it's usually a pretty good fucking time.
I think I was having fun. I got to go back and watch the tapes for clips, but I'm pretty sure I was having a good time.
All right, so I got a really weird one. Like, I've only shared it with a handful of people that have mostly been like my girlfriends. Like, hey, look what I can do, because it pertains to my dick. So I don't even know really how to fucking explain it. I can basically fold it in on itself to where it looks like I have no dick. Like, I tuck it into its skin, kind of like a fucking snail hiding in its shell. And then it just kind of like, I just end up with like this little bulge, like a belly button looking thing above my ball sack.
And what makes you want to show people this? It's just funny to you?
Yeah, I mean, like, show a girl, be like, oh, yeah, by the way, like, look at this. They're like, oh, my God, what the fuck? Where'd your dick go? Like, it's inside of itself.
It's funny that sounds like the opposite of what you'd want to show a girl. You'd be like, hey, look, my dick's gone. You know what I mean? Like, that's a surprising tactic for me.
I mean, it's like, it's usually after the deed, so it's like, hey, you've seen it at the most, now look at it at the least.
It's almost like a magic trick. You're almost doing magic.
Dude, it really is. Like, watch my dick disappear. And no girl has ever been like, oh, yeah, I know somebody else that's been able to do that. Like, nobody that I've ever talked to has been like, oh, yeah, that's really common. Everybody can do that.
That's startling. Well, at least it's working for you. You got to take it on the streets. If you have a unique talent, you got to take it on the road. You know what I mean? You're depriving the world if you don't show everyone.
I mean, I feel like it'd be a lot more shocking or being like, holy shit, like if you actually like saw it as opposed to me just explaining it, because I just feel like I'm not doing enough justice. But
No, I honestly feel like I'm
weird.
there. I feel like I can see it. So I think you did a good job.
Are you sure? I can DM you, man.
Don't feel like you have to do that,
pic.
but I am. Again, I'm just learning more about you all the time. But wait, let's touch back in on your last time you called for this topic. How's your Truman Syndrome shit going on? Are you still dealing with that daily?
Oh yeah, man, all the time. Like I said, like it's been with me since I was a kid. Like fucking, dude, even like right now, I'm fucking putting in appliances in like these rich people's houses, like high end appliances and shit. Like, and some of them have fucking cameras all over the place. And I'm like, I don't even want to use their fucking bathroom because I'm pretty sure they could have a fucking camera there, man.
See, that sounds more logical than the rest of it. That sounds right. I mean, that sounds possible. I feel like that sometimes. I just was basically, I guess I was just wondering if since we talked it out a little bit, or since like more than a lot of people have reacted to you saying that I was wondering if you felt any different about it now. Yeah. Oh, coming. 1 second. Yeah, so that was my only question about that.
No, I mean, hasn't gotten any better, but it hasn't gotten any worse.
Well, I'll take it. That's a win.
Yeah, no, I saw you put on your little thing on Facebook being like, you have Truman Syndrome? Call in about that. I was like, yeah, call that.
A lot of people actually identified with that, bro. Like, that's maybe my most interacted with clip from the show so far, I would say.
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You got to fucking tag me in that. I got to see that.
You put a voice to a lot of people's concerns there, I think. I've seen a lot of random comments of people saying that on that clip around. So I'll try to screenshot some. There we go. Well, good, man.
Hell yeah.
Be careful. Here's the thing. What did your parents used to tell you when you were making a weird face? Like, if you play around like that too much, your dick could get stuck like that forever. So be careful.
No, I just I can make my eyes go separate ways. So they say, oh, if you keep doing that, you're gonna fucking get stuck like that.
So, well,
Also,
I'd rather my eyes be crossed than my dick be tucked in. One of those is worse than the other for sure.
Well, at least the dick, tucking in, like, that's not a permanent thing. It's just a party trick.
For now. This time.
Oh, God, for now, yeah. Oh, shit. Don't jinx me, Judge.
All right, thanks a lot, bro.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Drew. He always has a fucking doozy. Like, I thought we got his weirdest story last time. And that maybe the Truman Syndrome is arguably weirder than the dick tucked in thing. But either way, I'm a fan of both. My word. All right, we're off to a great start. Honestly, 2 wild calls so far. Wipe from the front, and I tuck my dick in. So, good luck, everybody. Man, somebody on YouTube said that they just realized they also wipe front to back. Scary stuff. Bruh. I know, bro. We're hearing some crazy shit. Has anybody watching run into this? I didn't do this, but I based this whole show off a thread where we said weird shit in like a secret group on Facebook of like 50 people. And they all said some weird shit they used to do. And like 4 of them said when they were little boys, they would piss somewhere in their room and hide it. Like they wouldn't go to the bathroom at night and piss. They would piss somewhere in their room. Like a couple of them said in their closet. One of them said in like the bottom drawer of their, this was multiple guys. Multiple dudes said they did this. And I was like, that's fucking gross. Not only was it gross, but it was so shocking to hear more than a few people did that. I was bugging, bro. I was straight up bugging. Oh man. Go ahead and call in 540-583-4464. Tell me some weird shit. Or you can call on Discord too. If you need the Discord link and you're calling from out of the country, yeah, let me know and I'll help you out if you can't call on the line. My wife just brought me a delicious bowl of beef and broccoli. Oh my God, you can't see the broccoli because of the green screen. Yo, I don't know if I've said this on the show before, but when I married an Asian lady, I didn't think about it, but I started getting like really delicious Asian foods all the time. Like I never made that connection until it was like we'd already been together for a while, but I was stoked. Like it's a great thing. Joe was one I pissed in the closet. Yeah, bro, I remember a couple of them were pissing in the closet. Like I also remember somebody said they have to get completely naked every time they shit and they leave their clothes outside of the bathroom and he leaves his phone out there. The phone one I get, like you're touching your butthole and you're touching your phone like within seconds of each other. That's not quite right. Like I get it. We should at least be washing our phones. Like at the minimum, we should be Lysol wiping our phones on the way out, but it sounds like a lot. JC. Hey, we don't talk like that around here. What it do? What's up, Larry? How's it going? I have lit this blunt 3 times. Here it is right here. My girl watched The Shining as a kid and was scared to go to the bathroom. So she pissed in bottles for like 2 weeks till her mom found them all and freaked out on her. That is almost exactly an identical story to those dudes. Basically, they kept peeing in their room uninterrupted until their parents caught them. Ooh, yo, not only are we getting another call, but it's someone who's never called before. And those are the best ones. I'm going to wait. I think it's screening and I always pick up while they're screening and then they start talking. I hope what you're smoking is a joint. It's a blunt. It is a blunt. What's up, Sonny? How's it going?
Hey.
How you
are
doing, man? I'm great. Thanks for calling.
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. So, this was when I was around maybe 7, somewhere around there. And I had this big ass bunk bed because my brothers always had it and I always liked it. I always liked the idea of sleeping above, like off the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
And one night I was up there just contemplating my life crisis because I fucking thought the sun was going to explode or some weird shit like that as like a small child. And I was just sitting there crying, and I just got up and pissed on the wall. And it sat there for like 3 years until I got a new bunk bed. And it was so weird now thinking back to that. And it's like, because to this bunk bed, there was no bottom bunk. There was just a closet below it that was kind of open on the wall side. So all of my stored like blankets and stuff that I just never used was all in there. So basically I accidentally pissed on my blanket.
Oh man. So it's funny that you said like you were upset about something and you were crying and then you pissed on the wall from that. Like you were trying to calm yourself down by peeing, or like what was?
No, it was just like, it was a mixture of fear and just laziness. Cause like I'm 7, I think Slenderman is gonna fucking come running like a quarterback through my hallway to grab me or some shit. And I'm fucking young and I'm scared and stupid, but I'm also just like sad. So I'm just sitting there halfway lazy, halfway scared as fuck because I don't fucking dark and shit. And so I just get up and piss on the wall.
My word. It's like, it's crazy that when you're a kid, you don't think about how weird some of the shit you're doing is until you're later. You're like, oh, nasty, really, really nasty. Like,
yeah. But that's not even the worst part, I would say. I would say after it, because in my house, or in my parents' house, there are 2 bathrooms. One for my mom because it's closer to her, and that's just kind of like her thing, and then the boys' bathroom, which everyone else uses, right? And then it's just a lot of times both of those would be filled. So I would just go somewhere random and pee, and it was the most weirdest shit ever. And I don't know why I did it. It's not like I couldn't hold it in. I've held it in for like hours on end, but for some reason in my childlike mind, it was just so like, oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna pee.
Man, I hope you learned your lesson. I hope you go to the toilet now.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I know how to use the toilet now. Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you. That's
yeah,
growth,
that
man.
was
As long
it.
as here's the thing, you don't do it anymore. You recognize that was a crazy thing to do. I'm letting you off the hook. We're gonna say that was you were a minor when that happened. That's off your record now as an adult. We'll forget that ever happened.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great stream.
Bye. Thanks for calling, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad he got that off his chest. I'm glad he called. What's up, everybody? What's up, Doggo? How's it going, man? Long time no talk. What's up, Sug? How's it going? Sorry I can't say what's up live as everybody's saying hi. I can't be jumping in on calls and saying what's up, but definitely in between. I hope you guys are doing good. Pissed in his room. I knew it. I knew as soon as I said that, someone was going to call and said they did that. I could just feel it. I knew you were a bunch of pissy motherfuckers. I could smell it. This shit is out again. All right, we're doing good. I got to tell you, I'm feeling good about it, and we're doing well. We're having a good interaction today, I would say. So call in and let me hear it. What's something else? What's something weird you did as a kid that you didn't even know was weird at the time? Like, when I was a little kid, I think I said this the last time we did this topic, but when I was a kid, every single day, I just started saying, man, this is the worst day of my life. I don't know why, because I was a depressed little kid. I was depressed. My whole life I remember being depressed. So like even as a kid, I was like, this is the worst day of my life, no matter what was happening. And one day my sister had just moved out and she like went to Army and then she came back and she had her own apartment and we went and stayed at her apartment. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And she took us to see the Power Rangers movie, or I think the Power Rangers movie. And then she took us to the store and and she bought me a cool Power Rangers toy and we went to Chuck E. Cheese. All things considered, and the greatest day of any kid's life, basically. Probably the best day of my life. But then as we were getting in the car, I was like, oh, I gotta say it. I say it all the time. Not even inspired. Like I wouldn't even like, well, it's not the worst day, but I'll say it anyways. I just had to say it. Like something in me was like, gotta say it, gotta say it. And so I said it and my sister heard, bro, and she got so mad. We're still maybe not cool. I don't know if she's ever really forgiven me all the way for that. It's maybe never been as good as it was that day. I'm just saying. That's weirder than my shitting. I'm not pissing on walls. Well, he was a kid, bro. You're an adult. You're doing it right now. You're on the toilet smashing shit into your balls right now. Yeah, I did tell you that last time. But also, not everybody was watching this last time. It's not the same group, so I'm going to have to repeat stories sometimes. It's just how it's going to have to be. Guess what? I'm going to tell all these stories again, too. Can't help it. I got to tell you, I have to look at myself in the computer this whole show, and I think it looks considerably better that I don't have the mustache. I thought it was helping me as a judge, but I'm pretty sure I can see now this is a better look with no mustache. Oh, shit. Super coochie. What's up, Tasha? How's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's good. I just finished cooking dinner and all that.
It's delicious. Thank you for making dinner.
Huh?
It's fantastic.
Oh, you're welcome. I decided to call because last time I didn't call and you were like, you should have called. So this is me calling.
You have a lot of weird shit.
I've got a lot of weird shit. So a lot of people don't know this, and I don't know if people just intentionally don't mention it or if they truly do not notice. But I've had like OCD. I have had OCD since I was a small child. So ever since I was like 4 or 5 years old, I've had obsessive compulsive disorder that I didn't know was OCD until I was much older. So it started out small and gradually got worse as I've gotten older and more like stressful things happen in your life. You know, you become an adult and stressful shit happens. You're more responsible for shit and just life, you know? So when I was a kid, my oldest sister first pointed out, I was like 4, and I have a tendency to repeat stuff in my head that I say. Like if I say something out loud, I'll repeat myself in my head like 2 or 3 times. So if I say, that's a nice sweater, I'll say, that's a nice sweater, that's a nice sweater, that's a nice sweater, like 2 or 3 times in my head. And then it got to a point where my oldest sister was like, why do you keep doing that? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, you keep on mouthing the same thing that you said like 2 or 3 times. And I thought I was just repeating myself in my head, but apparently I would like mouth, like I was still saying it, but I wouldn't like say it. The same thing over and over and over again. And she'd constantly call me out on it. She's like, hey, you gotta stop doing that. Like my older sister is 5 years older than me. So I was 4, she was 9. And she was like, she was young too. And she was like, hey, that's not normal. You gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop.
Hey, cut it out. I mean, she was trying to help.
Then, yeah. It wasn't mean. She was like, hey, like that's, you gotta try and stop doing that. So anytime she would see me do it, she'd be like, hey, you're doing that thing. Just try and stop. So then, that was like really the only thing that happened to me as a kid. Like not really. In like 2nd or 3rd grade, I was having really bad anxiety. I didn't understand it was like an anxiety attack, where I had like really bad tightness in my chest whenever I would start breathing, and then I started to hyperventilate. So I got called out of school, and that happened like 2 or 3 times. It was like in 2nd or 3rd grade. I went to the office. I ended up having really weird chest pain when I breathed. And then they called my uncle and he took me home. And that was like 2 or 3 times that happened. And then it wasn't until I got into high school that it got really bad. So when I was in like, I would say not freshman, it's freshman, sophomore, junior, like sophomore, junior year around then, my dad has trichotillomania, which is when you pull your hair out. My dad's had that like my whole life that I can remember, and I always saw him do it. I always thought it was I just thought it was a bad habit. I just thought he was like trying to pull his gray hairs out or something. I never really thought anything of it. And then I started doing it when I was in sophomore or junior year in high school, because I was like really stressed out, just trying to fucking finish high school and all that shit. And I went to a college prep school, so I was taking college classes in high school. So it was like a lot of stress and like a lot of pressure. So I started pulling my hair out, and it got to a point where I would have like bald spots on my head that I would notice. So I had to try and like stop pulling in that area. So when I pull my hair, I don't just like pull it, you know, like when you, like, it's just like a sense of relief, like stress relief. Like it makes me feel better when I pull it out, when I pull my hair out. So I'm not I'm not just pulling any hairs. I like will go through my scalp and like pull certain hairs that are like of a different thickness or a different texture. Like I have coarser hair, then I will pull those.
I would say that part sounded the weirdest to me when I first noticed you were doing this, but then since then you've showed me that you do find like a weird hair several times. Like a lot of the time you are pulling a really weird hair out. Like it's in there.
A wiry hair.
Yeah, it's
and then
I'll
pull it, and then I pull it, and then I'll just keep going, because I feel such satisfaction getting the weird hair out that I'm like fucking chasing that feeling all the time. Good job. And then I also have, I forget what it's called, I forget the word for it, but I like, you know when you know that feeling, that satisfied feeling when you're cleaning your ears out?
Yes.
Like when you put a Q-tip in your ear and you clean your ear out, you're like, oh, that feels so much better. Well, I figured out like, oh, that makes me feel a lot better. I feel a lot better when I clean my ears out. So I am constantly, especially when I'm stressed out, and like at the end of the day, it's like certain habits, like especially at the end of the day, and especially when I'm in the bathroom, I will not only clean my ears with a Q-tip, but I go in with I'll go in with like a curette or even like a bobby pin.
Scary stuff.
And Yeah, I pick my ears really bad, and it's gotten to the point where sometimes I'll get ear infections. I'll get an ear infection at least once a year from picking at my ears. And sometimes it'll, like, my ears will hurt, and I'm like, hey, I gotta cool it with my ears. I gotta leave my ears alone for a while, or else they're gonna get infected. Like, I've gotten, like, horrifying ear infections to the point where it spread to my lymph node in my jaw, and it was, like, horribly painful. I had to go to the doctor. I had to get, like, pain pills for it and antibiotics, the whole thing. And then what else? I have this really bad problem in public restrooms. Like, at home, I don't have the problem at all. But if I'm at work and I have to go to the bathroom, it's like a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So I have to, when I go to the bathroom at work, or in any public place, if I'm at the grocery store, if I'm anywhere, I have to, and it's only when I'm going to the bathroom. If I take my kids, like if I take my daughter to go to the bathroom in the store, I don't do this. It's only when it's me. When I'm the one that's having to go to the bathroom, I do this. So I will, first thing I do is I'll go in the bathroom, I'll turn around and lock the door. Then I will go and grab a toilet seat cover, and I'll put the toilet seat cover on, and I'll wait to see if the toilet paper cover is placed on there correctly. If it's falling in a little bit, I'll just push the paper in and start over again. So it has to be on there securely, like it has to be aligned correctly. Then either I will sit down, or I won't sit down yet. I'll go and check the lock on the door. I'll go back to the door and push the lock in to make sure that it's locked. Then I'll usually sit down on the toilet and do my business. And then sometimes I will, like, literally pull my pants down and not go yet. I'll look at the doorknob, and I will pull my pants back up, walk back over to the doorknob, check the lock again to make sure that it's locked, and then go and sit down. And then do my business. After I do my business, yeah, it's horrible. After I do my business, it's not over yet. After I do my business, I'll flush the toilet, and I'll go wash my hands. After I flush the toilet and wash my hands, I will go back to the toilet to make sure that I flush, because I don't know, in my brain, I don't remember if I flushed already. I'm like, maybe I'm just remembering me flushing last time. Maybe I forgot to flush. Let me go check. So I'll go check the toilet and make sure that it's flushed. Then as I'm leaving the restroom and I shut the door, like I'm gone, I'm in the hallway, I will think to myself, did I check the toilet? Is the toilet flushed? I don't remember. Did I really, was it really flushed, or did I not look well enough? So I'll go back into the bathroom and I'll look back in the toilet to make sure that it's flushed.
I get a thing kind of like that where I'll like convince myself I'm misremembering it. Like I'll do something, like I'll take my medicine in the morning, and then I'll be like, did I take my medicine? And then I'll remember taking it. I'll be like, oh, but maybe that was yesterday. Like I talk myself out of it.
Yeah, it's bad. And then what else do I have?
Is there any end in sight, do you think? Like, are any of these gonna get better? Hi, Pam. Do you think they're...
Oh, I don't think so. Like, I have bouts where, like, I have been, like, stop. I have bouts where, like, I don't touch my ears for a few days, and then I'm just right back at it. Like, I've, like, gone to the doctor. They've tried to put me on, like, medications for it, like anxiety medications, and I've had, like, I've had some medications that I had, like, bad reactions to. I think the worst one was, like, before Pam was born. This was, like, 5 years ago or so, 5-6 years ago. He put me on medication. I don't remember what it was called, but one of the side effects was restlessness. And I'm like, how bad could that even be? Oh, it was fucking bad. Like, I could not sit still. I was literally, like, about to, like, burst into tears because I could not sit still. I was, like, fidgeting, walking around. I couldn't stop. Like, my brain kept going. I kept going. And I had to call the doctor and tell him, and he told me to stop taking the medication.
This all sounds like a lot, and like it's very stressful. Do you ever think about how stressful it is for the people who live in your house? Like, do you think that... I'm just kidding. I'm totally fucking with you. That was me.
And another thing is, I don't like cabinets to be open. If a cabinet is open, it drives me crazy. I have to shut it.
I have heard you yell at me for that.
I like my cabinets shut. I like we've lived in several houses. I don't know if other people have had this issue or if it's just a problem that we've had, but we've had some occasions where we have two light switches, like at two different points of the house, and they both turn on the same light or turn off the same light. And they have to be a certain way. Like, we lived in our old house in Rosemont, and I had to have the light switch by the garage up and the light switch by the kitchen down. And if it was ever the opposite, I had to fix it. Just little things like that. That's not like, I think it could be worse. for sure, but those are just the little things. I think that's everything.
Well, I hope it
that I
doesn't
can
get worse,
remember.
bro. I hope you get some relief sometime. You sound hot,
We're
and,
on asleep. That's why
it sounds like you have a very understanding husband for all that, and I appreciate that.
Shut up. Shut up. All right, bye.
That, at least she led off by saying, I have OCD and here are my things. Last time we did this topic, a guy called and he was like, I have to do this. I check these things. I used to have to go check this all the time. Like, he had like a full list just like that. And then I was like, bro, I'm sorry, but I'm not a doctor, but you gotta have OCD. And he was like, oh, I have OCD. For sure it's been diagnosed. And I was like, well, you're burying the lead on that one, bro. It sounds, so when she said she gets relief from doing her ears, this is gonna sound stupid. This is gonna sound so dumb, but this is one I do this every day, and I probably do this 10 times a day. I never even thought that this was weird until she just said that. But I will push down really hard on my head like this, and I will push, and I'll push, and I'll push, and I'll kind of slide down, and then when I let go, oh, that felt good right now. When I let go, I get such a sense of relief. I don't know if it's just the pressure coming off. I don't know what it is, but the feeling I get after my hands come off my head from that is so satisfying that I will catch myself doing it a lot. Like, I'm doing this, I'm gonna probably do it 5 or 6 more times today. Like, especially, like, I just got a good one. I'm gonna be chasing that till later. That might be weird as fuck. I don't even know. Tasha said these comments are great. I wonder, is she being sarcastic because you guys were saying she was talking too long? She let it all out. I like, it's good to hear those. I see it happen to her and it's still good to hear her say it. Because it sounds exhausting. That sounds so tiring. Yeah, maybe I'm just massaging my head. Maybe it's not weird. I don't know. I hope it's not weird because I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not stopping that one. Until a doctor is like, you're squishing your brain. I just read an article where, I think it wasn't, I didn't read an article. I just saw a Vice Instagram post. People need to say it like that more often. But I just saw a Vice Instagram post where like they were talking about the dudes who like drill a hole in their head right here. Like multiple people have done it because it gets you high like permanently. And I'm not about to do that. But I am gonna keep pushing on my noggin. You do the same thing, but the location, and instead of my head, it's on my penis. Yeah, that's fair. Pressure. I've heard about people say this. Okay, I know he was joking when he said that, but I have heard about, like, I've heard dudes say that they started out when they were little kids and they said that they would lay flat and just press their dick into the floor, like a pressure thing. And I never did that. I've never done that. So maybe it's tight. I don't know. Maybe it's cool. But then I also heard them say like way later that they still did it. Like it wasn't like they did it from when they were 5 till they do it now. And like then they had to have like pressure related sex things. Like that sounded so like crazy to me when I started hearing that. I think that might have been in the same thread I heard that. The poop thing. I don't remember. I don't remember where I initially heard that, but it was crazy. Jeffrey Dahmer did it to one of his first victims. What? He took him out for a nice steak dinner? What are you talking about? I wasn't hating on you, Tasha, I promise. No, I don't think she's actually mad. We'll see. I'll find out after. Buzzed off whiskey and Dr. Pepper. A classic combo. Let's keep it rolling. We're getting good ones. Oh, the hole in the head thing. Did it work? I mean, the guy probably was high for the rest of his life, however long it was. Not a long time, probably. Shout out to anybody watching on Kick. We got 2 people watching on Kick. I only have 5 followers on there. Think about dropping a follow. We're out here. It's a new streaming service. We're on here. Shout out to anybody watching anywhere. I appreciate all you guys. And thanks for calling in too. I love everyone that watches, but when you call, I love you extra. I'm a simple man with simple taste. My girl is writing out her script. Oh shit. You can wing it. It doesn't need to sound professional. I'm here to take in all your weird things and say that you're weird about it. creating better blood flow in those vessels. You're making me feel good about pushing on my head. Now I'm feeling like I'm helping myself. Not call worthy, but you know how people can roll their tongue? I can 3-leaf clover my tongue. I've seen a lot of people do that. A lot of people can't do that. I'm not saying you're not special, but I have seen a lot of people do the clover thing. I can't do it, but they like make the little, and I've seen it. I can like do my tongue sideways. Is that weird? Like, I don't think that's weird. I think tongues do tongue stuff. I think everybody's tongues do mostly the same things, except for I think some people can't make like a roll with their tongue. I don't know. Making out a script for this is a weird thing in itself. That's funny. Yo, I mean, I get it. Sometimes it can be daunting. When you have to start taking a look at yourself, it's not good. Yo, so I don't know how to explain this. Like I grew up watching tapes. Like I'm a tape kid, video cassettes, right? So like when I would watch certain cartoons, like when I would see the same thing, like when I got to a certain part, I would say the same thing. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like I saw like there was a cartoon where like, I think like Sylvester, somebody tried to suck a rat through a straw and it made this, like peeled the straw back. And I would like say something about it looking like a tree. And I said it every time. I watch this shit all the time, a couple times a week, maybe every day. If you're a kid and you think you watch something a lot, that means you're always watching it because that's how kids work. So like, I would just say this shit all the time. Somebody's calling. Hello?
Hey, Meatball.
Oh, what's up, dude? You thought of something else?
It's definitely not as weird as the last one. I don't like food that is hot or extremely cold. I like my food at room temperature.
Huh.
Is that weird?
Is it all foods? Like some foods are temperature specific. So, you know what I mean? Like some foods are hot and cold. So you just eat those not their intended way. Like what do you don't eat ice cream?
No, not really. I mean, sometimes I'll eat like a popsicle, but I just fucking bite through it.
Huh.
Which is also kind of strange.
You're almost not even enjoying it because it's too cold. So it's too cold for you to even like ice cream, really. You're trying to rush through eating it.
Yeah, because I don't get the flavor of it because like if something's too hot, all it tastes like is hot.
I will say there are some things where you're absolutely right about, like sushi, like fish is just, it tastes like cold if it's too cold. It tastes like almost nothing. Some sushi fishes. So I get that. I can hear that. And I guess also that I have burned my mouth on plenty of things and been like, I can barely taste this. So I get that too. But to think about like most of the time for most foods, once they're done cooking and they're served, like it is a sliding scale. It's never going to be this good again. It's never going to be as good as it is right now. Most foods are like that. Like it's on a timer where it's getting progressively worse. So to think that like something comes out for dinner and you kind of put it on the counter, you're like, I'm going to let that vibe for 10 or 15 minutes. I just feel like you're missing out. Maybe I just feel like maybe you should adjust your parameters. Eat stuff that's kind of hot. Like it's not burning you, but it's still very fresh. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I've gone to those both sides of that, as you said, parameters, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. If it's still warm and like juicy and everything, yeah, I'll just throw it right into my fucking mouth. But like when it's really, I can't understand people that eat things that are fucking piping hot. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not even tasting shit.
Bro, I eat shit out of the pan. I'll eat food off the grill. I'm one of them, bro. I'm one of them. Absolutely.
No, I can understand that. Like to understand what you're doing on a grill or on a pan, just take a little
It's more snack than tasting. I would like to say that I'm tasting for seasoning, but I'm mostly just snacking. Like Most of the time, if I'm cooking food for myself, I'm not even hungry by the time it's done because I've snacked on all like parts of it while it was cooking. Like that's mostly like I try not to cook for myself because I'll overeat.
Yeah. Another weird thing about the way I eat is I don't use utensils
At all?
for like any kind of meat. I just pick up a steak and I just pick it up with my hand and I eat it.
No, stop what you're doing. You just told me that you hold all your junk when you shit and then you go out and eat a steak with your hands.
No,
it's not right. No, something's not adding up there, or it's adding up to something I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't live in India, bro. It doesn't have to be like this.
Well, it is like this, and I savor the flavor, baby.
Good grief. That is weird that you don't use utensils, but it's mostly just upsetting in the context of what I already heard.
Get the fuck out of here. These are two separate thoughts.
Larry said hands is always holding some kind of meat.
Even when I cook. Like, relax.
That's hilarious.
No, but I actually don't use utensils when I fucking... Like, if I make, like, a good ribeye or a good fucking New York strip, I actually don't use utensils. I just pick it up and eat it.
That's not right.
That's
a sometimes thing. That's if there's no clean dishes or they didn't give you utensils and you're not at home. Like, that's a reserve for sometimes thing. That's not an everyday thing. You're wrong for that.
Okay.
Wash your hands a lot. Just really wash your hands a lot. That's all I can say. Before and after everything. Good night, bro.
Right.
Oh, that was all troublesome together. Thanks for calling.
I like to fart.
You like to fart?
I like to fart.
That's pretty good. I like to fart too. That's not so weird.
Because farting is fun.
Farting is fun. I agree.
I like to pee on the chicken.
Pee on what?
A chicken.
A chicken?
I like to play on my dad's head.
Okay.
I like to play on my dad's head.
Put your dad on the phone immediately.
What's up, dude?
How you doing, man?
She wanted to call in.
You know what?
Good.
That's when there's a fan, you just put them on. That's how it goes.
Yeah, she really wanted to tell you about her farting.
You know, I could tell her that she's not alone, and a lot of kids like to fart, and a lot of adults like to fart.
Sure, I like to fart also. Although, this is just a kind of a shitty topic for me, because I'm not weird at all, dude. Just normal, man.
Well, you had your chance. You had your chance to call in when it was drunk stories. So.
I know, but then it would have just been like my show.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had a time for anybody else, and I myself was very drunk, so it would have gotten messy.
We could have picked a year, like an age, and then just with that for me. All right, well, yeah, stay weird. You should get Eric on there because he claims to be the weird champ.
Okay, I'll text him right now.
Yeah, tell him to call in.
Does he have the same number? I actually don't know. I'll text him. I'm sure he does. All right, later.
I have no idea.
Here's the thing about a white dude. If you know a white dude, he's had the same number since high school. They never changed their phone number. White dudes have had the same fucking phone number since they got a cell phone because they were on their parents' plan and then maybe they ported it over and have their own bill now. Maybe. I have had like 10 fucking phone numbers because my shit's been cut off and signed up many places and all kinds of shit. And I change my number every couple of years because people are after me. So but whenever I need to get a hold of like one of my white friends from 10 years ago, guess what? Their number's in here from back then. I'm like, there's no way this is still their number. And I text you and they're like, hey man, how's it going? Every time, every single time. Ooh, another new caller. A great feeling. If you ever need a white dude, you need only call me at the same number. Absolutely. Samantha, weird things that children did that we didn't know was weird. Absolutely. I know it. What's up, Samantha? How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Loving the show from over here.
Thank you. Glad.
You're very welcome. All right. So, children are very curious. The topic of the night is literally things we did as kids we didn't know was wrong. Well, shortly after the birth of my second sister, my first sister and I were very curious about the ongoings of being a mom. This included breastfeeding. So, in the spirit of playing pretend as 2- and 4-year-old mommies, when we would take turns being the mom or the baby, my sister and I would breastfeed each other.
I think a lot of little kids do that. I mean, it's the same as like breastfeeding a doll, right? I think a lot of little kids do that. Kids do what they see adults do, right? So I don't think it's weird. It's only weird contextually for you now, right? And I think that a lot of kids have done that. I don't think you're alone on that one. My kids didn't do it, but I don't think you're alone on that one.
Well, we knew nothing was going to come out of it, kind of sucking on a plastic doll or maybe cooking plastic food, but we want it to be authentic.
Yeah, you guys are just playing pretend. I don't think that's super bad.
All right, I can finally probably die happy now.
There you go. You're
with
fine.
having gotten this off of my
When
conscience.
that story started out, I thought it could have gone a lot of worse ways. So all things considered, I'm relieved, and I'm gonna let you off the hook totally for sure.
Thank you very much, and good night to you.
Yeah, thanks for calling. Yeah, kids do shit that they see parents do. So do drugs in the other room. That's what I do. That's my main advice. Kids. I'm doing it right now. I just had to stop myself. You see that? You see that? Here's the thing. When my wife said that she would sometimes know that her ear's getting fucked up, so then she could stop doing it, that means she's like almost beating it. Like that's like knowing that that's hurting you and stopping, then that's almost turning it off. You know what I mean? So she's like right there with that one. Like if she just needs to figure out how to harness that same feeling, but like all the time. Every time she goes to do it, like, oh, I better not. I'm kind of like that with the bathroom shit. She said it in the sense that every time, and this is a good one. This isn't weird because it's good. It helps me. Whenever I go to eat, I will fucking think, I have to like really quick think about the last time I washed my hands. And normally I'll go wash my hands right away. You should wash your hands before you eat. And so that's not weird, and I'm really just helping myself, but I'm just basically saying my instinct isn't to be like, oh, better wash my hands, I'm gonna eat. Really, I'm like, oh, what the fuck did I touch? I better wash my hands. Like, I'm not doing it out of being like a good, regular, clean person. I'm doing it because I remember I'm actually a dirty person and I need to eat right now. When I was saying all that stuff about white dudes having the same number, Sean said, okay, this is racist. And I said, didn't know this was a racist show. And a black dude in the chat said, okay, noted. This is not a racist show. That was all jokes. Go ahead. Bang my line, 540-583-4464. Call in and tell me some more weird shit. We're fucking rolling. We're keeping it going. I'm going to lean back, and so I'm going to pull this mic up. It's crazy that I can pretty much lean forward or back, and it doesn't really... I guess I'm a little further away from the camera. Maybe I should sit further back. How does this look? Do I look... Is it better if I'm just less of a head? Like, what's going to make me look less crazy? Like, normally I sit right here. I think that's fine, but maybe it's too close. I got to back my ass up. Maybe. You've given me a lot to think about. Thank you for your input. Yo, we have truly heard some weird things tonight, and I am absolutely here for it. Y'all are some freaks. Like that's what we are in it for. That's yo, my friend called this show last time Looks better farther back. Word. Okay, word. I will sit a little back. Okay. It's easy too. I can still reach all my shit. I feel like this looks way better actually. I'm glad he said that. I just needed like a little reassurance. Cheers to the youngest caller with their farts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I forgot I needed to text that guy. I went on that whole rant tangent about white dudes. And I gotta text that dude. I bet you it's here. Eric. It's his name. Oh, guess what? It went straight to iMessage, so that means I would bet it's him. Like, let's. Yo, it's Morgan. Sean said you're the weird champ. And I've heard him called that. Doing a weird. We are doing a Tell Me Something Weird episode of my call-in show right now. Do you want to call in? And I'll read the number out as I'm typing it, so you guys can call too if you want. 540-583-4464. That's 540-JUDGING. I gotta put up on here that it's 540-JUDGING, but I don't know that people who didn't text like that know what that means. I don't know. I don't know if they know how to type numerically. Like, the alphanumeric keyboard raised me, you know, and I'm here for it. I hope that message reaches him. I know I have more myself. Like, I know I have more myself. It's hard to reflect. It's not easy to think about the things you do and say they're weird, because probably everything I do is weird, right? Here we go. Oops, sorry I picked up while you were screening. How's it going?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody's stepdad yelling in the background, but yes, I also hear you.
Yeah. What's up, man? Spaghetti-O Joe in the chat.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Yeah, I wrote down my weird shit so I can kind of have like an itemized list of the weird shit that I fucking do.
I can't wait. I could kind of, you sound a little bit far away. If you could get closer on the phone or something.
I got my earbuds in, but I don't think they're really good.
Okay.
They have a lot. Yeah, people have a lot of problems with my earbuds whenever I talk on them, especially whenever I'm at work and stuff. But I'm in a loud ass fucking truck at work, so you can't really hear me there either.
I see. Well, let it fly. I'll make it work.
I mean, I can take them off. Give me a sec. I got
All
you.
right, thank you. Man, it says the last time you called was
All
February
right, how's this,
13th.
man? Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better. It says the last time you called was February 13th.
February 13th?
That's easily like the first couple episodes of the show. So thank you for calling again.
Hell yeah, man. I've been busy, man. I've been fucking getting shit done and making moves and getting sued and all that kind of shit. You know, the usual shit. But you know, something I used to do as a kid is what's up?
No, nothing. Go ahead.
Something I used to do as a kid a lot. Like, I used to like just drink straight lemon juice. I don't know. It's like, I guess it ties into all like the weird shit that I was talking about, like that you eat back in like the last episode that I called in on.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. I was just like fucking, as I was a little kid, I would just fucking get lemon juice and just drink that shit straight.
Man.
I'm surprised I even have any fucking enamel left, considering the acidity of that fucking shit.
It seems like it would fuck up your stomach too. Like, I don't think you could just be throwing back lemon juice like that without repercussions. Did it fuck up your poops or anything?
No, I just fucking, I feel like I have a bit of an iron stomach because I've eaten weird shit like as a kid too, like just shit that was probably not kosher to eat, and I just came out fine. You know, like shit that was like expired and shit. And I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm hungry.
I remember you had some pretty weird things that you
Fucking
ate
comes up.
as an adult.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Haven't had a pickled sausage in months. You should be proud of me, okay?
I am proud of you. That's progress.
That red devil dick hasn't seen the side of me in a long time.
Oh, someone in the chat just said they eat lemons. They just eat straight lemons. There you go.
Oh yeah, lemon's good. So what else? So whenever I worked at the prison, sometimes I would be in the outside picket, and essentially you're just up in a fucking tower with a couple of guns, and you're just there for like 8 hours straight with nothing but your thoughts. Unless you have like a picket that like deals with people and stuff, like some of the pickets they open gates and shit. But you know, some of the pickets are just strictly perimeter patrol, you know, just looking out and making sure nobody's fucking trying to climb over the gate. And whenever I was in one of those pickets where you just really didn't have to do shit but stay awake, I don't know, I would take all the shit out of my pocket and I would like lay them in front of me like in an orderly fashion, you know, kind of like taking inventory of the shit in my pockets. But, you know, the more I thought about it, I was like, I feel like I'm setting myself up for like, you know, an unaliving, you know?
so subconsciously.
I mean, think about it. You're just sitting here like, well, this is. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I that's a funny connection to make. That's very funny.
It is, you know. Like the more I thought about it, I was like, fuck, dude. Like I really like if somebody like walks in, they're like, what did I just stop? You know, like I don't know. I for some reason it was just like I don't know, just something to do, I guess. But I'm very particular about how I do things, you know, and I'm very like, I guess you could say I do have a little bit of the OCD as well, you know, because
I'm kind of the same
I'm very
way
particular about certain things.
I get a relief from kind of emptying my pockets, like but not intentionally. Like this was like way more common when I was a little bit younger, like in my like early 20s. But I would get like crazy high. I'd get super high, and I would just slowly start emptying my pockets like around to get more comfortable. So like, but they wouldn't be in the same place. It wouldn't be organized. Like I would have my phone and then like my wallet would be somewhere. My keys would be somewhere, a lighter, like I would just wherever I was, where I was like, what the fuck is in my pocket? And I took it out. Like I would just put it down. And it was like really funny for a while. And I'd be like, oh, I must be really high. Like, ha ha ha. But I also started really losing stuff. So like I had to really check myself on it. Like I still am not great about putting all my stuff in one spot, but like I'm a lot better than I used to be because I'm high all the time and I just can't take the risks.
Right? It's like I can't risk losing my debit card for the 5th fucking time.
Yeah. The bank's not believing me anymore.
And if I lose my phone again and I have to change my number for the 15th fucking time, I swear to God.
I've done it all,
man. But I don't know. It was just weird. I had like a lot of shit in my pockets whenever I worked at the prison. Like I had a what is it, like a planner, like a small little pocket-sized planner. I had a fucking what is it, a dictionary, because I like to look up words while I was fucking not doing anything to add to my vocabulary. Fucking what else did I have? Just a whole bunch of random shit.
I mean, if I couldn't have my phone, I would probably have a lot of stuff to occupy my time, just like that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I also had a notebook, so I had like a little actually like notebook that I would write like fucking either poetry, or I was learning Swahili at the time because I was working with a lot of Kenyans, so I was like always like studying my Swahili and shit.
That sounds cool.
But
how about prisoners? Did you ever see prisoners do some weird shit all the time? Like, were there some dudes that did specific weird things that you remember?
Oh man, you do see a lot of weird shit, but over the time, just all kind of like fucking melds together, and you're like, oh, another prisoner doing weird shit, and it just kind of gets filed under the like, shit to kind of dump and delete, because you're like, it's fucking same shit day in and day out. So you kind of just get like numb to it, so you're just like, all right, well, a prisoner's doing weird shit again, but not really anything that like you see prisoners all the fucking time dealing with like mental illness and shit like that. So, like they'll be sitting there in their fucking cell just talking to himself and shit. I actually had a buddy of mine, a coworker. He's so fucked up. He would like there's this thing called a pipe chase, and essentially what it is like this little like kind of like thin corridor that is between both sides of the cells, you know, and that's where you have access to all their like toiletry and like the toilet pipes and shit and the plumbing, you know, and other like the water pipes and all that shit.
Okay.
So fucking this dude was like having like fucking mental illness and shit, and he went back to the inmates, like they have like this little like vent opening to their cell, so you can actually like talk to him and kind of see kind of like a little bit into the cell from like inside that little pipe chase corridor. And he went to the guy that was having a fucking mental health crisis, and he was like, hey, fucking do it, man. You won't do it. He was like, who's that?
That's
like,
crazy, bro. That's so
like,
fucked up. Like, that is, okay, objectively hilarious. Hilarious. Like, let's take a second to say I'm not a strong enough man to say that's not hilarious, because I'm sitting here really, really smiling, but also horrible. You shouldn't do that. And he's super guilty
it was
and all that,
up.
and that was wrong. But my God, is that funny?
I was never that dark. I fucked with them like on the surface, you know, and if they had a mental health crisis, I would sit there and talk to them. You know, like one guy, his mother passed away while I was in prison. You know, I stood in front of his cell for like probably 45 minutes, you know, and I was just, you know, kind of helping him get through it, you know, and kind of like checking on him periodically, because the thing is, you never want any inmate to unalive themselves, you know, while you're on the wing, you know. It's just a whole bunch of paperwork. And
honestly, it's
sad.
good that you would do that, because like a guy like you balances out a dude like him that's fucking with them, and you just hope that there's at least equal amounts of you, and there's probably not, but you're doing the good job, right? You're doing something that's not fucked up, and then you just hope that wipes out that guy telling that guy he's talking to him. You know what I mean? Like, it all works out. It all evens out.
My type of shenanigans was always like fucking, what is it? Just yelling down the run, you know, like intercepting like fucking call outs and shit, and all of them talking and shit. Cause whenever they talk, you know, and they're like in like isolated cells and shit, like on, isolated wings where they each are like one person to like a fucking cell and shit, you know, they'd be calling down the run, you know, like, hey, tell Pookie do this and that, and hey, tell Southside I said that, you know. And I'd just be fucking intervening. I'll be like, hey, hey, tell my man I want them damn stamps tomorrow. Just fucking like random shit. Just intercepting shit. And they'd be like, fucking, I ain't say that shit, man. That's that fucking lawman down there, man. I'll be like, hey, man. What else you gonna do for fucking 8 hours, man? Don't come to prison. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what? It seems like it's a little bit your job to fuck with them a little bit, and you shouldn't, but I can see it. I can see how, if that was your job, you might think it was.
Well, you know, like, it's kind of like a mentality thing, honestly, that I feel like it kind of appeals to the average prisoner, is that, you know, whenever you see an officer and he's kind of cutting up a little bit, he sees that officer more as genuine, you know, and
Yes.
whenever you actually listen to him and his issues and you tell him straight up, you know, hey, I can help you or I can't help you, they appreciate that more.
Yeah,
you know,
because they don't want a guy that's all
bullshit, you know, like, oh, yeah, you know, just instead of selling them bullshit, like, oh yeah, I got you, man, I'll do this and that, and you just don't follow through, you know, then you're just a piece of shit to them, and you're never going to amount to anything to them, you know. You lose a lot of respect that way. But, you know, me, I was just like, hey, man, it's just not going to work out, you know. So-and-so said this, so-and-so said that, you know, so-and-so's not hearing it, whatever, you know. But I was always straight up with them.
That's good. That sounds like the right way to be. That sounds like you're one of the good ones, they'd say. Way to be.
Yeah.
That sounds like
One reason I'm working at the post office right now still, and you know, part of me wants to go back, but another part of me doesn't, because I really don't agree with the whole, you know, prison system as a whole. You know.
Yeah.
Like my ideologies and my beliefs very conflict heavily with, you know, how the modern prison operates and runs. So it's just kind of like, it's hard to work a job where you have, you know, a strict, you know, disbelief in whatever the fuck they're doing, you know.
Yeah. You probably it makes yourself feel like you're phony. You know what I mean? Then you start calling yourself phony. Well, that's good. I mean, that's a great outlook to have. You're right. Like, the prison system is fucked up, and you're right not to go work there still, especially when you have other options. like being a CO is a good job for people that don't have a lot of options for certain other jobs. You know what I mean? But you got hired at the post office, which means you were clean off drugs at least for a little bit, and you know what I mean? All sorts of other good stuff. Like,
right, yeah.
But
just long enough.
But so like that's all. If I would say if you have an option to get a different job, you should do that. So you're 100% right. That's good. I bet you see some fucking wackos at the post office. How about that?
Oh fuck, dude! It's fucking. I don't know what kind of jobs that the post office attracts, but there's some fucking weirdos there too, man. They're all fucking. They're assholes too. Like, they don't give a shit. I'm kind of like a people pleaser person. You know, I care about customer service. I care about helping people as much as I can, so long as they don't show me that they're an asshole. You know, as long as you're a genuine person, I'm gonna try to help you out. You know, come to me with a concern, or it's like, here's what I can do for you. Here's what I can't. You know, same with the inmates. You know, but it's like some of these people, you know, they fucking, the way they deliver packages, the way they deliver mail, it's just bullshit. And they're just like fucking, they don't like, if like a package requires a signature, they're just going to write a pink slip and fucking go down the road. They're like, fuck this shit.
The kind of shit where you're like, I know they just did
board.
that, and they'll deny it. They say, no, we don't do that, sir. But like, I definitely, you see people there who look like they're ready to die at the post office every time you're there. Like, they hate it. But it seems like a great job.
Jobs where, honestly, it's probably one of the hardest jobs I've ever done.
Are you a mail carrier?
That was crazy. Yeah, I carry the mail, I carry packages, I do it all.
Oh, that's tight. That's the big boys. You're doing big mail stuff. Yeah, big mail shit. You know, and then the reason why it was like so hard for me is because I come from a job where, you know, it was essentially a sedentary job. You know, you just have to make sure that you keep your head on a swivel and make sure inmates aren't hurting themselves or killing other people, you know, and hold them accountable. And that's really it. You know, you're really just holding a supervisory role. Yeah. But you go from that, you know, to working at the post office, and now you're met with, you know, these demands that you have to fulfill. You know, they're like, hey, we want you gone by this time, we want you back by this time, you know, no excuses, you know, and if you don't make it back before this time, then it's right up on your fucking record and shit, and get 3 of those, you're fired. Just a whole bunch of bullshit, you know. It's
a lot
crazy.
Of
it's that
stress,
strict.
A lot of fucking putting your ass to the. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, because the thing is, you got to understand is USPS is a competitive job. It competes with fucking Amazon. It competes with UPS. It competes with FedEx. It competes with everybody, you know. And they're trying to make sure that they hold the foothold that they have as far as mail and packages are concerned, you know. I mean, fuck, what's to stop Jeff Bezos other than federal law to eventually deliver mail? All he needs is, you know, give some fucking cush money to the government, and all of a sudden Jeff Bezos is delivering mail.
That makes sense.
You know, I know that it's not crazy to say.
No, and I'm sure that there's benefit to privatizing the mail. Like, I'm sure the government would save a, you know, ton of money, probably make money because they tax them too. So it seems like something that could definitely happen. Like, I see that. And I could see how also the USPS does work to keep up, because that shit is, for the most part, it's very good. Like, I send shit priority mail. I've sent things that were worth thousands and thousands of dollars, like consistently, like week in and week out, and almost it never gets lost, like for the most part, here and there. But you could send out 100 packages in a year and like one gets lost. Like I have, like, it's, for the most part, it's very good.
Yeah. But essentially, like, I'm what's called an RCA. It's a rural carrier assistant. What I do is I fulfill the spot that's not filled by the regular. You know, essentially somebody calls out, they call me in. Or somebody, you know, takes time off, I fill that void. You know, I have a route that I'm a consistent sub for, so that means that anytime she calls out, I'm the first person they call to put that, like, fill that spot. You know, so you're kind of like the workhorse of the industry. You
and
know,
there's still enough like openings for you to work that full time, just filling in. Yeah.
There's consistently routes. I've been kind of I'm a regular for one route, or like a sub for one route, and this other route that this lady isn't working right now, I fill in pretty consistently for that as well, and I actually enjoy that route. So it's pretty good for right now. The only reason I would actually go back to the prison is because they implemented some new bullshit with the USPS and how they pay their regulars. and give them their days off. It's been kind of like a huge fucking stab in the back to all the carriers included on how they want to do this, because the problem is for years and years and years they told these carriers, hey, fucking, get out there, get back, and you get paid your full day, you just get to go home. So the carriers were like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Come in at fucking 7, leave at 12, get paid a full day up to 4, get your 8 or 9 hours.
That sounds great.
And they did that. And now, yeah, that was the whole appeal, like fucking get paid a full day and you get rewarded for your efforts and how good you do your job.
You're done when
But now they've changed it because they feel like, yeah. So now they're kind of like reeling back, and it feels like punishment because, they're like telling all these carriers, hey, you're making too fucking much. You come in at 7, you leave at 12, we're paying you for a whole fucking day. Yeah. So now they're kind of reeling back. So now what they've said is, depending on how short your route is or how we feel like you should be getting paid, you're going to have to work an extra day. So now instead of the 5 days, you get Sundays off and your registered day off in the week, you could have a Monday or Tuesday or whatever. Now you're going to be working 6 days off Sunday and every other Saturday. As a regular.
I guess everybody's off
crazy.
Sunday, right? Or I'm sure there's still some processing jobs and stuff inside.
No, what it is regulars are guaranteed off on Saturdays or not Saturdays, but on Sundays, and they get the holidays off.
Yeah,
but RCAs, that's another story. They have we have a deal with Amazon where we deliver packages, like X amount of packages for Amazon.
I think I've
through
seen that.
our whole system. Yeah, so it's like we consistently deliver packages on Sunday and certain holidays. So it's like fucking, even if it is a Sunday or a fucking guaranteed holiday, you might work, or you might not, depending on how high you are in the hierarchy of the subs, if you will. And it sucks because working on Sunday, it's always the same bullshit because you have to read the same goddamn script for everybody. They're like, they see you on a Sunday and they're like, oh, y'all are delivering on Sunday now? And I'm like, well, no. We have a deal with Amazon. It's a contract. We deliver it. I got to repeat the same shit. It's like a fucking broken record. I hate it.
Yeah, that's the worst. When people say the same shit to you all the time, like it's everybody has like the same 5 things they hate hearing at their job. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's one of them. I feel like a fucking British comedy. British comedy, a fucking rule of goddamn repetitiveness and threes and shit. Fucking, what is it? Jackie Gleason's gonna come out and it's fucking, But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's changed a lot. I'm kind of like, I held out so that way I can get I just moved into a new apartment, so I held out just to make sure that I have the work history to get into this apartment. So now it's just kind of like I put my application back in for the prison, but the good thing is you're able to put a hold on said application for up to a year. So it's still there, if I need it.
Yeah, it's good. It's always good to have a backup plan in case you get fucking furloughed or anything can happen. Because if the government shuts down too, that affects you, right? I'd assume.
Exactly. I think it does. I don't know, honestly. We're like, it's weird. We're part of the government, but we're not. The funny thing about the USPS and the reason why they still hold a bit of a foothold in, the whole system is because the USPS pays the fucking government like millions of dollars to make sure that they are like semi-privatized group, if you will, So they're not a part of the government, but they are. It's this weird like little gray area that we operate in, but we pay the government so we can be that.
Well, I'm glad they do it. I like the mail. I'm here for it. I hope you keep delivering.
Right.
Call again too, because I'm gonna do food things again in like the next week or in the next couple weeks, and I want you to call back for then.
Okay.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Later, man.
Bro, it seems so cool to be a mail carrier. I know that I just found out a lot of things that aren't cool about it that I didn't know before, but it still sounds cool to me. I'd still love to be a mail carrier. What do you think about the current Postmaster General? That would have been a great question. I know he had an opinion for it too. He had an answer for that, I guarantee Yo, Fox Warrior Gaming just followed on Kick. Let's go. Thanks, bro. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. That's what's up. We're getting that dude called like the first week. He's like one of the original callers of the show. That's cool. I remember he said he eats crazy shit. I can't remember. Fuck, what was it? I don't even think I have it filmed anymore. It might be on my YouTube. He fucking eats SpaghettiOs still, and he eats. Oh, he had a bunch of good ones. I'm gonna go back and watch it now. I'm gonna go back and watch it after this. I forgot I wanted to clip. He ate some crazy shit. I remember. Tell me something weird. 540-583-4464. We're doing a long one tonight. I'll keep this shit going as long as people are calling. We've had a very steady stream of callers, to be honest with you. Larry, where's your wife at? Your wife's got a whole list of shit she was calling with. If she's still making this list, I'm here for it. I'll hear the whole shit. I'm ready. We really have heard some weird shit tonight, and I love it. Like that's absolutely what I'm here for. It's such a hard topic to phrase. Like I phrased it last time like something weird that you do. At this time I think saying tell me something weird has gotten some people to drop in. I think that's a good title, so I think that's good. I wish I could think of more weird things because I know when I mention stuff, then people call in with stuff similar to that. But I know I'm doing other weird stuff for sure. Oh, yo, I didn't used to do, this isn't that exciting. I don't know why I got that excited, but I did. Like I forced myself to start writing the cross on sevens. Like I remember like one day in high school, I was just like, this regular 7 it looks wrong. Like I was just like, it started looking, well, I have like really shitty handwriting anyways. So like if it's not like a very definitive character, like a T or something, some people are like, what the fuck is that? And maybe some people would say I'm illiterate. I don't know. I just write very poorly. I just have very bad handwriting. But I remember like being like seeing like just like a 7 and I was like, no, that's not right. So I started putting a little cross. But then every time for like the rest of my fucking life that I've drawn a 7, I've also gone like, oh, better cross it. So like it's just like I don't naturally draw like that. I make a conscious thought of it every time. That's why it's weird. It's not interesting other than the fact that I'm like, oh, better do it. You know what I mean? That's left the mailman because he's a drug dealer and don't even know it. Classic. Start crossing zeros too. Oh, that sounds tight, bro. This is gonna make me sound. When do I put zeros across on the 0? When I don't leave a tip. That's maybe the only time I've ever done that. And that's just like it's like putting an exclamation point on a number. You're just like $0 fucking dollars. Fuck you. Like and I haven't done that often. Just when they really, really deserve it. My wife's quick not to leave a tip. And she also is quick to leave a tip. If you're cool, she will leave you a tip. But if you cross her, you're not getting a cent. And sometimes she wouldn't tip in situations. No, I wouldn't ever tip when she tips, when she doesn't tip, because also I'm scared of her. But like I will, it takes a lot, but I have less of 0 tips, and I put the line right on. Would you rather watch a tree grow? I wouldn't. I would rather watch a tree grow. That's I think that's the way to get around that. I'll just say I would rather watch a tree grow. It's almost time for another new compilation. It's almost time for more TikToks. So find me on Facebook, Great Uncle Meatball, or YouTube, Great Uncle Meatball, and you can watch just all the TikTokies I love to watch. We're all watching them together. That's why I like it. I'm mostly watching them for me and Mario to get high and watch, and I send them over to Mike, and he likes to watch them. Like there's and Tasha, we all watch them together. So like but then also there's like the whole Facebook group we just hit 80K on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. So then there's all those other people. Some of those comps get like millions of views. So everybody's watching it and it feels like we're all doing it together. So let's watch the next one. It's coming out. Probably like 2 more days. I really don't even have enough talks, but I will really get on it and find them. I'm going to start wrapping it up unless someone calls and tells me something weird. I'm doing the wrap. If I'm telling you to follow my shit, if I'm plugging my own shit, that means the show's wrapping up. So last chance to call. Topic for Friday. We need a good Friday topic. We just did drunk stories and I was blackout drunk. I do not remember most of that stream. So let's do something like that on Friday. I think maybe people have really funny edible or weed stories. Like, and then I got high weed stories. I maybe have never thought about that because it's just, I don't know. The first couple times, or the first time I tried to do drinking, we didn't get a lot of calls. But I think most people do or have smoked weed, and even people that don't smoke weed because they have a weed story. So I think we'll do weed stories on Friday, and that'll be fun. That sounds great. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. So that's what we'll do. Weed stories on Friday. What's today? Wednesday? I'll say the new comp's coming out on Friday too. So new compilation on Friday. Weed stories Friday night. Other than that, drop a follow. If you're following, drop a sub. If you're doing both, find me on another social. Let's get it popping. More people got to find this shit so we get more callers, but it's going well. It's going well and it's doing better, but do your part to spread it. Thank you for watching. And also you have homework. Just tell somebody. If you tell 2 people and they tell 2 people, that's like 1,000 people right there. It takes very quick. Good night. Court's adjourned and I'll see you guys later.